The strengths of fascinating education are really in the approach, in the stepwise release of this information so that the child picks up on it step by step. And that also he provides, Dr. Margulies provides a special human touch to each of these slides so that the child has more than an equation on the board, has more than an Erlenmeyer flask. They have a great picture from life that gives that concept life for them so that they then learn it, whether it's chemistry, physics, astronomy, biology. He gives, in his fascinating education documents, it piece by piece in an exciting way. The GEMS program, Gains in the Education of Math and Science, and the Fascinating Education program are pretty much lock and key, are puzzle pieces that fit beautifully together, and that when Dr. Margulies presents the information step by step and then shows the information, gives concept, as I said before, he leads the subject forward or the student forward and tells them exactly what they need to know. Then we fit with that a section of a training piece for hands-on, inquiry-based experiments. So they fit together beautifully. Gives the student something to do with the information they've received. And there's nothing, you have to be physically involved, and you have to do the experiment yourself once you've learned the concept in order to capture that information for that permanent place in the brain. It literally has to have all the pieces, has to hit all the senses before it's really learned. And if you don't make it exciting, it's not going to be learned as well. Dr. Margulies is a unique educator, unlike the educators that I've known. In even my area schools or elsewhere, schools for children with special needs or actually gifted children on the other end of the spectrum, you have to provide them the information in an interesting way. If a teacher puts it on a board with a chalk and it's not permanent, it's not exciting, it's less meaningful for the child. So if they have special needs, particularly, I think it'll be more difficult for them to take the information in if it's not exciting. And I think that's true of any education experience for a student, is that it has to be, it has to be extraordinarily meaningful. Dr. Margulies and the GEMS program have both had that rewards element to learning. When I don't know how many times I've heard a parent say that I'm sending my child to this camp, I've paid this many dollars to send them there, and they're going to learn this topic. And you'll see a child take part in the GEMS program, for example, and know that they have the reward of doing the science and the reward of a certificate and the knowledge that they actually receive a small amount of money for taking part in that program. That makes an extraordinary difference for them. In terms of Dr. Margulies' work, he has different types of rewards that he's recognized students appreciate. And that is that recording and fame and all of that is very much part of the human experience now. And for a student to have that opportunity as part of their learning experience, and the other types of rewards that everyone has in day-to-day experience, they are what motivate us. And so it's a motivational factor that has long needed to be added to science education or any type of education. There has to be that rewarding aspect to what they're doing. It's not just something they have to do. I have to go to school, I have to do my job, and when you do your job, you receive a reward. These children receive a reward for their science education, their learning. There are two concepts that come from Dr. Margulies' approach and the GEMS program, the near-peer mentoring that we have, that fit together beautifully and then offer the child a reward. And that's an incredible force in terms of their science education or any type of learning. One can take our programs, Dr. Margulies and the program that Dr. Jett and I have developed over the years, and you could put them together with any material, teach that material to a child, offer a reward for that education, and it could be done for anything. You could do law, you could do whatever. It would work for anything. Rewards are critical, and it can be formulated into any kind of educational program. When Dr. Margulies in his chemistry sections talks about any concept, he gives it a real-life corollary. And the real-life corollary for oxidation in chemistry is that, and you can look at a periodic chart and you can figure this out, that metals rust or metals oxidize. And my daughter, who is a 10th grade chemistry student, had a sheet of paper put down in front of me, and she said, "Mom, I just can't seem to learn this. I can't seem to grasp it, and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing." And she was breaking up reactions into the half reactions. Now, I can just see Dr. Margulies' section on this. He'd have great pictures of rusting metal and all these unusual chemicals and going through reduction and oxidation, and it would have life. And she just had a piece of paper, and she had to sit down with a sheet of paper with a black and white periodic table and a list of how you calculate oxidation numbers and make herself remember it for the test the next day. I can think of 1,000 ways that would be better communicated to a student. And I know that Dr. Margulies has done that with 1,000 slides at this point, making it real life and making it something that they can manage and learn.